Stoney here. I'm here with Clinkley Wood, and this is the final game of the America's Weekend Tournament. At the bottom here, we have CodiFly as an aerial specialist, and he's up against Sastopher as a marksman specialist. Cody starts with the Tarantula's fans, and he decided to add on 2 squads of crawlers. And with Sastopher, I'm starting to see a aggro positioning on one side of the board, steel balls, crawlers, and a single marksman. Now the question is, will he add chaff clear for round 1? How do you feel about this, Clint?
Yeah, I think asymmetrical aggro early on like this can be super brutal to deal with. At the end of the day, right, while tarantulas are good chaff clear, they don't chaff clear super fast. Like, I think they, if I'm not mistaken, they clear a pack of crawlers slightly slower than an arc light does. So there comes this point, right, where this like asymmetrical aggro can just be too much, weight to bear, and these tarantulas will just not be able to keep up. And I think if I had to choose like which person I'm favoring here, it's probably going to be Cody. Maybe not. Round 1, I'm giving it to Sass because of this level 3 marksman. But it really comes down to how Cody decides to use his aerial specialist here. What about you? How do you feel about what's going on here?
I'm with you. I am not the biggest fan of the way that Sass puts the crawlers and the steel balls. I think those are, they're just asking to be missiled at some point. When I play steel ball crawler aggro, now granted I'm not very good at it, but I like to stagger them up a little bit. And we've seen earlier on with Apucci playing his steel ball with the crawlers, and they're always spaced apart by 2 squares, and I think that's a very safe way to go. I mean, the crawlers already walk so fast, so with those 2 squares, you're missing about a second of time before they eventually catch up and start overwhelming the opponent's board. So I don't think that's a big deal, and by doing that, you're protecting yourself from cheeky missiles.
Yeah, I think it's very easy, though, with Sass's positioning early on, that he can just develop a crawler right in front of it and kind of prevent some weird missile play. There's also a world, right, where Sastopher can put a crawler on like one of these flanks, one of these shallow flanks, and that just will eat up a missile too pretty reasonably.
For sure.
But the first set of unit cards coming out, extended range steel ball, is skipped by Sass. Interesting. I feel like that card is a little too strong. How about you? What do you think about that card?
I think, and I agree with you, I think if you take it to extended range balls and you add range to it, then you can comfortably contest scorpions from afar. And especially if you're taking mass-produced scorpions with a range reduced by 10, then these balls would, like the scorpions would never ever touch the steel balls.
Absolutely.
But he didn't take it, so we're still in this pretty natural development with these scorpions being added to protect themselves against the balls. I'm not sure if it's going to be this round. I feel like this round Cody should continue to chop up, and he is. Interesting choice with the Phoenix, though. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of the Phoenix is. I think he's hoping that once he gets the Orange Man, then the Phoenix can kill everything else.
Yeah, I like what Cody's doing with these offset fangs. You were mentioning this last game, right? Which is like, if your opponent goes Stormcallers, it's very hard for you to, keep your strong vertical conga line of fangs, preventing any major damage. But some pretty aggressive flanks coming out from Sass, both a shallow flank and a deep flank, with the deep flank being an arc light, which will wreak havoc next round unless it's answered. But the shallow flank is, 1, that missile shield I was talking about, but 2, just an extra layer of chaff. And you can see that this tarantula just has its hands full.
He's been firing nonstop and is still not able to get all the crawlers. Wow.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, Sass just brute force his way through on the other side. But it's excellent tower timing, though. But then followed by another rather unfortunate tower from SAS.
And if I'm not mistaken, all steel ball groups have leveled here, which means things get very, very awkward.
Mm-hmm. Cody has exactly 1 turn to put down those scorpions before the steel balls level up to level 2, and in which case he will have to get level 2 scorpions. I mean level 3. Level 3 steel balls will need level 2 scorpions.
Mm-hmm. X special is coming up from Cody, which is interesting. I think some players overvalue this card, but I trust Cody's judgment on this. How do you value Tech Specialist, especially at round 3? Do you think it's worth a pickup?
It might be. I mean, if you do the math here, we're going to need range on the Tarantulas. That's 1. So let me preface that. You need 3 tech special. You need 3 techs to break even, right?
Mm-hmm.
So range on Tarantula, range on Scorpion, if he's ever going to put down Scorpion. Replicate on Crawlers, that's 3. Right? And if you ever going to want to put down a Giant at some point, then you're definitely going to want to have tech on it. So there's a very high probability that he will break even on that, but it is a little pricey for round 3, though.
I agree. Something that I noticed about Cody's positioning that I think is unoptimized, not good. I'm not sure how to phrase it, but it's not ideal, maybe is the best way to put it, is he put these crawlers in this back right corner, which, is exploitable. And you can see that SAS is exploiting it with just a singular Arclight. However, right, if those crawlers were 3 squares in, we could have put anything here and never have lost a single crawler while the Arclight is busy shooting that thing. And what Cody ended up doing was putting a Phoenix down, and I don't think the Phoenix is the greatest solution to what that flank is. Or granted, the unit moves fast and it has a lot of range and it's single 32 PS, but like it gets weird if he puts a crawler in front of that Arclight.
Absolutely.
It gets weird if he puts a Fang there. It's not ideal. Or Fire Badger, God forbid.
Fire Badger, right? When you're looking at the flank play, it's all like if you're not really committing and using it as a carry, what it is you're trying to out efficient your opponent.
Yeah.
And in this case, a single Arclight is tying up 2 units, and well, he could put down a set of crawlers here, and that set of crawler will win for SAS, where the Phoenixes will have a difficult time picking up those chaff. So yeah, you're absolutely right. At a slightly higher level play, I mean, I've been putting crawlers on the flank line forever, but at higher level plays, leave 2 squares before the crawlers, or even 3 squares before the crawlers. Rhino, surprisingly, are excellent. And when I say excellent, I don't mean they're great for the rest of the board, but they are so efficient at dealing with the flank. They're 200 resource,
Absolutely.
But they can single-handedly carry more than 200. They can take care of a squad of crawler with the Arclight. They can take care of Typhoons. They can take care of Fire Badgers, whatever the typical suspect on the flank here. A Rhino could reliably take care of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a bit of a misplay. I don't know if this is like default positioning for Cody or just something that's really scary coming out of Sastopher here.
What's
this rate play?
What's with the Fire Badger fan stagger formation? Like, I don't get it.
I could not tell you. I'll be honest. That is unknown to me. Maybe the idea is to hold them down in a certain spot long enough for Scorpions to do their job.
And it's so unfortunate because he got sucked on this turn, and the Fire Badger's just feeding into those Scorpions. I didn't understand it. I think Cody was going for some sort of Picasso there.
But really good power timing here.
Yeah.
The Scorpion's eating a lot of shots.
Yep.
And the Phoenix is probably getting a couple levels here, huh?
Oh, sure.
Only one group gets a level.
And about that missile vulnerability that I was talking about with the straight up fans in the Congo line, I mean, look at these units, right? You put a bunch of missiles, and there goes a whole bunch of your
Yeah.
units. Yeah, I
You
don't
know.
know. I mean, the top Fire Badger, unless you're going to go hard with Napalm, which might be a possibility. If you go hard on Napalm, that these Fire Badgers have a place because then they can just spray Napalm everywhere. But right now, this is 4 squads of unit directly in front of a level 2 Stormcaller that can, and also potentially being preyed upon by these level 2 Steel Balls, which suck. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, this is a little unknown to me as well. Like I've never seen this before, but whoa, what a
Whoa.
wild pickup from Sass here. Level
Yeah.
2 elite recruited uh, hackers being thrown down. And he's got the money to range him if he wants to. And this can get really, really, really weird for Cody.
Oh yeah, he has almost no chaff here
It
at the
does.
front, right? All of his chaff are either running really far behind, or it's these fans when they're not really doing much because the Stormcaller would just eat them up. So that means these level 2 crawlers can potentially steal a lot of Fire Badgers, potentially a Scorpion.
Yep, and we don't have great damage at range. We have Phoenixes, but the Phoenixes are going to be tied down shooting their own guys, and here we go. It's not your Scorpion, it's our Scorpion.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Ooh, but the good thing though is that we do have a few leveled Phoenixes, and with the tower down, that's a beautiful tower timing just before that Scorpion was about to shoot it. Ah, Cody's still gonna get this round.
Okay. Cody defying the odds there. I really felt like that was Sastopher favored. But yeah, like you said, that Scorpion was turning around, charging up that Ganon, dies, and and doesn't get the tower, and instead Cody gets the tower, and that's that makes all the difference here. Enhancement module coming out for both players. I think this is super heads up. I think this allows a lot of cool degenerate plays and a lot of economy accelerating here too. How do you feel about this item?
I like it. I think right now the steel balls are being leveled, so it's being countered by this level 2 Scorpion. I wouldn't mind Cody just throwing down some oil here, covering. I mean, a single oil is going to cover this entire line, both steel balls from both sides. Boats coming in, I think that is one is just continuing on the success of those air victories from the previous round, and two is potentially preparing a counter towards the Degen beam.
Yeah, the counter to Degen beam, I think it also trades pretty favorably into Wraith and pretty well into Hacker. I think one of the best options to go against Hacker, right, is like chain gun boat.
Yeah.
Or a chin gun boat is what they call it, but it's Overlord artillery. It's the little cannon piece that comes out of the bottom. But yeah, I mean, and SAS is adding on more hackers, and now we have a double tech from SAS. Interesting.
Yeah,
I really feel like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
This round's gonna go pretty well for SAS. I feel with these level 3 hackers. One thing that defined last round was Cody's attack on the left-hand side tower, but now with the Wraith guard standing guard, I don't think that's gonna happen. And once the chaff is cleared, I feel like these hackers are gonna do a whole lot of damage. Now the sad part about it is that Cody doesn't have any anti-air, and neither does he have any anti-air from the ground. I mean, not Cody. SAS doesn't have any anti-air, and Cody doesn't have anything that shoots up from the ground. So the hacker didn't really get nothing.
Very true. Something that I'm a little worried about here is we haven't seen Cody make a lot of usage out of that tech spec, but we've seen SAS tech very aggressively. Double tech hackers suck on balls. We have range on wraiths. It sort of feels like maybe the mistake here from SAS was not taking tech spec, but I don't know if that delays his turn in some capacity or what. But I think a beautiful and smart answer here from Cody is slamming these wasps, clicking aerial specialization, clicking range enhancement, and saying, I'm going to kill your wraiths as quickly as I humanly can.
Yeah, and I'm gonna overwhelm you with my ground shaft.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's beautiful because another unit was the melting point that was dropped, and it was picked up by SAS to counter these boats. But let's just hope that he gets the read, and he does, putting down 3 squads of Mustangs. Is he gonna get them range and aerial spec? May not have enough money to do so.
He gets range.
Just range. I don't think range is going to be sufficient against level 3 Wasp, though.
No, and there's nothing he can do to make up for that amount of money, too. The best he can do is temp range.
He could always sell the level 3 melting point and get aerial spec. I mean, 3 squads of level 2 Mustangs with aerial spec and range can very reliably and comfortably taking care of the level 1 overlords.
Yeah, that could have been definitely a line here, right? But what he ended up doing was he ended up selling the level 3 balls on the right corner and transferring over that enhancement module to the balls on the left. So it looks like we're making a transition out of steel balls, but I think this might be a little too late from SAS. I feel like Cody's just a little ahead in tempo overall here, and it's going to be very hard for him to catch up.
Ooh, don't coming out just yet. The level 2 Mustangs did clear the level 3 Wasp on the other side, and now it's working on these level 3 crawlers. And we still have a big daddy of a melting point standing strong. Ooh, this is a big round for SAS.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, I was totally wrong. I thought this was going to go very much in Cody's favor.
Yeah, me too. I think we should just quit our professional casters.
It's the caster's curse. Whatever we say, the opposite happens. Yeah.
ER Vulcan, interesting. I don't know if that plays really well here, but interesting. Underground, probably underground for both. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have some very exposed flanks. More so on SAS side, I think. If he can draw this Mustangs back, allowing the Wasp to just run straight towards the tower, gets the Wraith, he's going to have a very good time.
Okay, range specialization comes out for, or aerial specialization rather, comes out for the Mustangs, and so does elite marksman for the Wasp. Whoa, I was expecting a bit of a carpet round, and by that I mean them clicking underground threat, them clicking replicate, and saying, figure it out, bud. So, yeah.
I'm surprised nobody's clicking replicate this round. That would have been a pretty good round to do that. And it's a cheap tech.
Yeah, there's still some money from both sides, so we'll see. SAS is sitting on 1,000 gold right now, and Cody on 400.
I think right now SAS might be trying to milk this melting point as far as he can and then just sell it. Because by then his Mustangs would be large enough to take care of most of the air units. Well, speaking of, we are continuing on with more Mustangs on the ground.
Yeah, I think the reality is that SAS is missing an opportunity to kill Cody here with Replicate. I don't think Cody has a great answer for what, a big Replicate turn here.
Oh, yeah.
But
no, I think SAS is going to get tower regardless.
SAS has... Oh, yeah, that's how it's looking, huh? Unless this spider turns around. But it doesn't look like it is.
Ooh, they got the tower from the pole on the other side. Well, we were so busy looking at Cody's side. Ooh, this is going to be game. I think this might be game because of just how many crawlers there are still on the ground. And if you can get to this melting point, which means now the Wasp are just going to converge onto these Mustangs.
Yeah, that is game.
Yeah, we got a Scorpion left. I'm pretty sure that game is going to get towered once again. And these level 1 Mustangs are going to do nothing. Nothing at all. Wow, kudos to Cody.
Yeah, those elite marksman Wasps ran it down the left, killed the Wraith, killed the tower, and sealed the deal.
And we have a new champion for the weekend tournament, and it's CodiFly. Congrats. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I got another one that's even better. Check it out, and I'll see you on the next one.
Prepare your tactics. Mechabellum's calling. Deploy your fortress. The battlefield's alive with swarms.